This is my preview of the X-treme X600 electric scooter. I purchased this as a scratch and dent from X-treme, and by doing that I saved $50. For the purposes of this video, I removed 3 straps and the tape that was at the bottom of the box. Everything else is exactly how I received it from DHL. When they delivered it, they noted there was a hole in the bottom of the box. Inside, there's a tremendous amount of open space where there was no styrofoam or padding. There's heavy parts in here, and there are other parts like the vinyl seat, some smaller plastic parts, and some thin metal parts, and all that was jostling around in there during transit. And I think the potential for damage is huge just because they don't put just a little bit more packing in there. And I think they could do that in the future. So I was not impressed on that aspect.
So here's the scooter all out of its box and pretty much assembled. All I had to do was attach the handlebars. You got 4 Allens here to this plate that goes over the top and tightens down. And then of course I had the seat, which attaches to these tubes underneath here. Right now it's actually in place. It just fits into a socket in the bottom there and for easy removal. It was pretty easy attaching this to the tubes. There's a little tensioner there. It's like what you would find on normal bicycles, where you just loosen it off so you can either raise or lower the seat and turn it to the side if you wish. Pretty simple stuff. The toolkit, that with all the little tools that came with this, had a couple Allens, and which it doesn't have all the right ones you'll need. I highly suggest just get a metric set for yourself if you don't have one already, and your tools will be higher quality anyways. Get with a wrench, screwdriver, another tensioner. This interesting piece here is actually an extension to help reach the nozzles on your tires so you can fill them. You'll find that you'll need to use this on the back tire. I'll show you real quick.
That extension I showed you is supposed to be for the rear tire valve stem, which is hidden deep inside in that crevice that you can see. You have to unscrew the cap and get in there. I would suggest you get a compressor with a special nozzle fitting that will fit in there for easy use, because you'll want to keep your tire pressures up frequently. The front tire valve stem is no problem. It's right there. Just unscrew it and you're easily accessible there. As far as the rest of the tools, this one I couldn't figure out a purpose for or how to use it actually, but I wanted to show it since it came in the bag. Then I also received 3 extra fuses. This is the X-treme little padded Velcro thing that came on the handlebar, but I didn't like how it looks, so I removed it. Here is the seat post cover. That's in all the stock X600 photos. I didn't like how it was made. It's made of really thin metal, and I felt like it was just going to rattle around on there, and I liked the way the chrome look of the seat post as it was, so I didn't use it. And then of course you have the intelligent battery charger. One end would plug into a standard wall socket, and this end here, which I'm holding, would plug into the side of the scooter itself for charging. The instructions for that are in the manual. The manual itself is pretty well put together. The English is understandable, and one thing I would suggest that you read it all the way through before you do anything with the scooter. It's got some good pointers in there. The pictures are placed there to help you understand what they're talking about. It was pretty well put together. The one thing that it did describe in the manual that I had a problem with when I received my scooter was that the column here, the steering column where it connects to the stem on the rest of the scooter, was actually loose. And you can see here where I wiggle it back and forth. It's got some play in it. In the manual it tells you to loosen up the nuts that are at the top and the bottom of the stem here. I'm pointing at the one, and there's the one at the bottom there. And you can adjust those and tighten them up to take the play out if there is any play in that column. I highly suggest that you get a multimeter to check the voltages on the batteries. That's going to be essential to the life of your scooter. So you really need to look into getting one of these. Here's the scooter charging. This plastic platform, which goes over the battery compartment, is about the same consistency as a child's snow sled that you can buy at the store. The 3 seal lead acid batteries all connected in a series there. And then here's the charger, 2 red lights on. That one of those lights at least will turn green when it's done charging. In this case, I had it connected up for over 16 hours, so there was definitely a problem with possibly the battery or something else. I took the multimeter to the batteries and figured out that definitely one of the batteries wasn't holding charge. So I went ahead and started removing them. You first remove the first one, kind of jimmy it out of there, and then you can shove the other 2 forward from back in that compartment. And these just rest in there. They're not strapped down or anything. And there's only one connection that plugs in to the scooter for the batteries. So you unplug that and then just remove those. I took the batteries out so you could take a better look at them. And the one on the right is the one that's definitely not holding a charge well. The one on the left, when I received the scooter, that little red wire was barely on there. Was about to pop off, so I reinforced it with solder and made sure that it was conducting current well. You've only got that one white connector in the back that connects everything into the scooter, and then you have in that blue plastic piece there the fuse. And now I will go about returning these and waiting for my replacements, and the next preview or review will be about how the experience went. Just to recap a couple points, the box was rather flimsy that the unit came in. The packing was inadequate, increasing the likelihood for damage, and you'll require some more tools than what they provided. The valve stem in the rear wheel was really hard to reach, and of course the batteries weren't tested before they shipped it out to me. On the good side, the components seem to be of a pretty sturdy construction. The assembly out of the box was rather simple. The instructions seem to be pretty straightforward. And their price compared to their competitors is rather low.